Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Own Your Image, Effortless Style, Branding, and Extraordinary Confidence online series. We are so excited today because we are here with Dr. Melody Stevens. She is the founder of Fit+Faith International. She's a physical therapy and certified health coach, and she really embodies what it means to equip women to grow and develop in their spiritual life, their mental life, their health, and everything. And we are so excited to have her on.
Yes.
Welcome, Dr. Melody.
Yes, thank you. I'm so excited to be here. I think what you guys are doing is so beautiful and so amazing, and I just feel honored and privileged to be a part of it. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I know everyone's in their houses. We're in our houses. How has this quarantine life been for you?
Well, some adjustments, but honestly, not that many. So have you seen this meme that's gone around that basically is like, it says, when you find out that your normal life is like quarantine life, and so that's kind of how I feel. Like I have worked from home for so long.
Yeah.
But it really hasn't been that big of an adjustment. I think the biggest adjustment is just that when we go out, being mindful, doing the distancing, wearing a mask, the places you want to go aren't open. So that's just been the biggest adjustment. But as far as like life at home, it's kind of been the same. So I'm thankful for that, actually.
Yeah, that's
really
nice.
That's nice.
That's a blessing. It's a privilege to be able to be in a society now where we can, build businesses out of the home and serve others out of the home just as if we were out and about. So that's awesome.
Yes.
Speaking of building businesses in the home, let the audience know a little bit more about who you are and your brand and what you're doing.
Definitely, yes. So my business is called Fit+Faith. So I speak specifically to Christian women, and we have a global community, and that is how we connected here.
Yes.
And so ultimately, I help women around the world grow ultimately in their confidence, which is why I love what you're doing so much, because it just already is part of my heart of wanting people to be healthy on the outside, but understanding that our health is not only the outside. Our physical health is literally one part of the outside. So I really help others understand that our health and our whole well-being is a healthy mind, a healthy body, and a healthy spirit. So your relationship and your connection with the Lord. And so that's just my heart and my passion. And so that's what I've been building over the past 5 years, is this beautiful global community of just God's people around the world connecting and wanting to grow in their health, but honor God in their body by how they treat their body, and ultimately realize that we've got to be understanding what's going on up here, because that plays into how we treat our body and how our body feels. And so it's the healthy mind, body, spirit together is what we're all about.
Yes, I had first found you through listening to your podcast. I was trying to lose weight, and I was like, going through a battle in my mind on how to do it the correct way. And I listened to your podcast, and I was like, oh, wow, I had never thought to take it to a scriptural level
That's good.
when trying to lose weight. I didn't think about that. And when I listened to your podcast, I was like, oh, wow, this is really a blessing. It really blessed me in changing my mindset and how to go about weight loss and dieting, and, just trying to get back into a healthy mindset and a healthy body. So
yes, and you're right, because that's often what happens, and that is what happened to me originally too. It was 5 or 6 years ago. I wanted to just make changes with my body. I didn't like what I saw in the mirror, and so I was like, how do I just attack my physical health and just slim down and look better? And if I look better, won't I feel better? But it came to find that no, actually, because what was really going on was still all messed up in here, My perception of myself and of my worth and of my value was so off that nothing that the mirror showed was going to fix that. Wow. And so as I went through that personal journey, and then I realized, oh my gosh, I'm not attacking the right thing. My physical appearance, my physical body doesn't give me my true value and my worth, and that's not ultimately going to make me happy. then God really used that to start to change my message and to change my approach and how I help other people too. And so I remember it was 5 years ago, I had my own private practice for physical therapy, and I was helping people with their bodies, helping them, recover and get strong and, prevent injury and all these things. And then God said, but you're only helping people with the one thing, and I've created everyone to connect with me. And so he was just like, how are you going to address that? And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I can't deny that. That's true. He's created all of us, whether people believe in him or acknowledge him or not, he's still created all of us that way. Right. And so he's like, I created all my people to connect with me, their spiritual health and taking control of their mental, not only mental health, but not only in that way, but understanding the negativity that we have in our mind and our perception of ourselves and what we see in the mirror, what self-talk is going on behind the scenes inside of our brain that no one else hears. And so it just really started to open up my mind and gave me this mission and this passion that you've got to let people know that until they have a healthy mind, a healthy body, and a healthy spirit, and they're approaching their health from a different motivation, it will never be what they want it to be, and it will never give them the answers and the fulfillment that they're truly looking for. And so that's when that whole journey started 5 years ago. And then it's just grown and grown and grown. And my passion for that message has just grown. And I mean, that's never going to stop. And so it's been a fun ride, right? So we started the podcast 3 years ago, and then we just released our first devotional and journal called Rooted in Christ, and that just got released on Amazon a few months ago. And so it's so exciting to see God spreading that message and helping people break free when they think that the physical health and the physical body is the answer, for them to realize that's only part of it. And oftentimes that's not the answer at all,
Right. That's really, really good.
That's so good. So speaking of all the values, how important was it to you when you got that word from God and you were doing the physical therapy? How important was it to you to make sure that your values were rooted in the brand and to really give the message that God wanted you to give to the people you were serving?
Yeah, that's good.
I feel that when we look at your brand, when we look at anything that you want to represent of yourself, when you are a part of your brand, there really has to be a deep level of integrity there. So when you begin to speak a message, when you begin to put your own brand out there and what you stand for and what you believe and who you are, it has to be fully integrous with who you are behind the scenes. And so God has used that to really help to just pull some things out and grow and refine myself so that I would be in full integrity of the mission and of the message. So I don't know if that answers the question. That might have been something different, but
No.
I have learned about integrity, that who you are behind the scenes is just as important as who you are in front of the scenes when you're presenting yourself, when you're presenting your brand.
I think that's so good, because I think sometimes people think of brands as being separate from who they are.
Yes.
And it's really not. If you're building a business, if you have a passion for something, it's a part of you. Mm-hmm. So I think what you said is right in line with that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think also, we've mentioned this before, especially, with technology, with social media, with personalities. I think it's very important to be authentic and true to who you are, so that people can connect and understand the message that you have. And with that being said, how did you ever have any struggles when it came to staying rooted in the message that you were delivering, especially it was different from what you were doing with physical therapy? So how did you stay rooted and grounded in that?
I feel that as as you start presenting something, you start putting yourself out there. One of the big things that I had to really overcome was the fact that I and we, anyone who is in business, you are not meant to serve everybody. And so I had to be okay with the fact that not everybody was going to like me the way I wanted them to. Not everybody was going to accept me the way I wish they would, you know, and really just being okay with saying, you know what? God has given me this heart, this passion, this message. I'm just going to be true to that and be true to myself, knowing that I've got that integrity piece and that I'm following and obeying what I feel God is leading me to do, and knowing that He will then use it to reach the people that He intends to use it and to reach. And so instead of feeling like, because we feel like, well, we're in business and we should serve everybody and everybody could use our service, could use our product, whatever it is. But that's actually not the case. And so as you begin to dive into your own personality, into your own individuality, into your own uniqueness, and you're true to yourself, then the people that you were meant to serve and to help with your business or whatever that happens to be, they will be attracted to you. They will find you. They will say, yes, I want to work with this person. But if we're trying to be all things to all people, you will never be fully successful that you want. You're going to find yourself running in circles and being frustrated and being disheartened and being discouraged. So when I realized, you know what, all I have to do is be me, to be that authentically and to follow what I feel God is telling me to do and to say, and then let Him do the rest and let the people come that He wants to bring for me to help and for me to serve. And that really freed me from feeling like I had to be all things to all people and I had to wear all the hats perfectly. And that's just overwhelming. We were never meant to do that. So, and I love that how this goes with what you guys do. You help people pull out their individuality of who they are, you know, using what you wear and how you present yourself to be the fullest expression of who you are. Your beauty and your individuality and uniqueness is going to reach a person that someone else never could. And so there's just so much freedom to be like, yes, I just get to be me. And then let the chips fall where they may. And then amazing things happen, actually.
Yeah, that's good.
Wow. I love that. That's really powerful.
Yeah.
That's really, really powerful. So just to move to the next question, how does branding affect your personal image? Like, is your branding separate? Like we just talked about, your branding wasn't separate from you, but how does it affect you in your more personal life, I guess?
I think that it's fun to find things that are not directly connected to your brand, but finding ways to pull that in that aren't necessarily like businessy, you know? And so it's really fun when you are your brand, when you are the face of it, when you are the leader of it. It's just fun to use your brand in all different ways. Ultimately, I like to be able to, you know, there's certain things like this, like an interview, or if I'm speaking or whatever that happens to be, where you want to be very mindful of how you present yourself, because people make those split-second decisions and judgments on you, whether you want them to or not. They just happen. And so how do we want to be perceived by our audience and by those, you know, that we're trying to reach? We have to have that level of professionalism and we need to take that seriously. But on the flip side of that, it's okay to show, you know, the behind the scenes a little bit, you know, but I think you do have to be a little bit mindful. And that's where when you get to that place where you're just fully, I just go back to that same word, integrity. When you're in full integrity with yourself and who you are in front of other people, and when no one else sees, then you can just have fun, you know, you can just have fun with it, and you can show the more relaxed side, the more, you know, less businessy side, the behind the scenes stuff, and you're just having fun, but you never have to worry that it's going to damage your image. Yeah. If you're already just in full integrity with who you are, and you're just a good person, and you want to serve people well, and you know, so I don't know if that answers the question.
Yes,
it does. Definitely. You know, I hear you saying, you know, it's very important to be to have that integrity when building your brand, when building your business, when connecting with people. That's the core of, you know, of being confident in who you are, because you know you're staying true no matter what. And I think, you know, that's also, again, very, very important, especially in this time where we're creating and we're trying to please people. And at the end of the day, if you're staying true to who you are, in front of the camera, behind the camera, it's all, you're checked off on each accord. So that's awesome.
It takes away a lot of doubt, worry, anxiety. Did so-and-so see that? Oh no, should I have done that? Should I have said that? You know, and then are you really going to sleep at night when you're worried about all those things? Like,
right.
When you don't have to worry about any of that because you know that you didn't cross any boundaries that, you know, that could potentially damage your image, you know, like it just feels good. So it's awful to have to play that two-sided thing. And that just comes down to your heart ultimately, right? That just comes down to, are you trying to just like look good for other people, or are you truly in your heart, you are full of love, you are full of service for other people, you know, and that will come out and people see it. So
yes, you're right. Speaking of, we've talked about branding, we've talked about you. Let's dive a little bit more into personal image. And as you've built your business, do you think that your sense of style or fashion has come to play at all? If so, why or why not?
Yeah, I do. You know, I really had to, I did fight with this a little bit in the beginning. So when I was first getting started and I was becoming certified in a health coach, you know, in addition to being a doctor of physical therapy and having all that credibility, it's like, what is the perception that people have of a health coach or of a life coach? And like, their perception in my mind at that time was, this person just loves to exercise. They're always wearing workout clothes. They're always looking so fabulous, you know, in all their workout clothes and this and that. And, you know, they're always making videos about their exercising and this and that. And so I fought with that because I'm like, I think I'm supposed to be that. I think that's what people are looking for when they hear those words. But I'm like, but that's just not me. It's not that I don't like to exercise, but like doing it like that and always being perfect in your exercising and making these videos and, you know, wearing all the, you know, the fancy workout clothes, like that's just never been me. And so in the beginning, I was kind of like feeling like I'm stuck in this limbo of who I really am versus who I think people want to see me as. And I struggled with that. And then when I finally got to this place of just like, no, you know, I want to encourage people to be healthy. I want to encourage people to run their race and do their thing. But that's just not me. There's other people that are doing that, and that's just fine. They'll serve their people and, you know, go do your thing. But I had to just get really comfortable with who I was, and then allowing myself to just be comfortable in my own skin with how I was showing up and what I was doing and what I was creating. And I found that the more I did that, then I took that pressure that I had only put on myself, you know, I took that pressure away. And then now I'm free to not feel guilty if I have a piece of pizza or if I share that, you know, and let other people know like that's real life, you know, and that's okay. Like I don't just live on cauliflower and carrots all day, you know? And so when you begin to just like relax and get comfortable of like, this is real life, but it doesn't mean that I still don't believe and promote and have resources to help you in all these areas, but I'm real too. And I think the more that I allowed myself and allowed my image to show that I'm real, the more people were like, yes, like, so am I, you know, yeah, I want to be healthy and I want to do all these things, but I'm real too, you know? And so then it's just like, there's just this freedom of just saying, you know, and there's other people that want to be like the perfect, you know, exercise model person, and that's fine. They'll connect with the other people that want to be that way. But when that just wasn't me, I had to finally just get comfortable with who I am and knowing that just because I eat a piece of pizza or I have some ice cream or a donut now and then, it doesn't mean that I'm not being not having integrity in my business. It just means that I'm allowing myself to be real and to show that. And then that actually connects with people even more, you know. And as I received those messages from people like, thank you so much for saying that or for sharing that, you know, it takes the burden off of them, because they were trying to be perfect and that's not possible, you know. And so it's like, when you're real, you know, it gives other people the permission to be real, but yet still shoot for those goals.
Right. I love that. I think all I keep hearing you say is just integrity and being who you are. Like, you just be comfortable in who you are.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite workout brand that you wear?
I do. And I wish I was like, sometimes I wish like I was a paid sponsor for certain brands, right? Because I do love them. I literally posted something about this morning on my Instagram. That's so funny. So I love Fabletics. I love Fabletics. I have been a Fabletics girl for a really long time, and I have loved everything I've ever got from them. I love how their workout pants feel and how they just like suck you in and like keep your shape, but yet they're still super flexible and comfortable. I love them. So that's who I like to recommend. I feel like they're affordable, and yet they're fun, and they're cute, and they're functional, you know? So anyway, that's my favorite.
Yeah, I always see their ads and I'm like clicking on them. Like,
I know. Like, I need this, I need that, I need this. Do your parts it's like, maybe not.
Yeah.
So as far, going back to, like you said, you like Fabletics. As far as when you are speaking with women, even just you and yourself, I guess, what is it that you, and I know we've spoken on like, it's the inner work that's super important, but there's a piece of that too. The outer work is still, the outside is still a piece of that too. And so what is it that you wear on the outside where you feel your best and most confident?
Yeah. So I love, you know, I was thinking about one of the questions when you were asking, you know, how would we describe our personal style type of thing too? And I'm like, how would I describe my style? I don't even know, because I'm not a fashion expert, so I don't know all the things. But what I figured and what I came to feel, and what feels really good to me, and especially like I live in San Diego. We're casual here. We have great weather the majority of the year. I own one pair of closed-toed shoes. Like, everything is sandals and just comfortable, you know? So when I go out to do something or go to present myself in a more business fashion, I have to have the appropriate, you know, clothing and dress professionally. But otherwise, like, we're casual. We just live in a casual city, you know, a city that's active and that loves being outside. And so for me, like, this is very, very similar. Like, I love jewel tones. So I love the deep blues and the deep purples and the golds. I love that. And it goes really well with my skin tone. And then I love, like, what I would call, I tried to give myself a name for this earlier. It was casual sophistication. So I literally love being able to be casual, but yet have one or two pieces that like flips it. And then you can totally be, you know, more elegant. So whether it's like a jacket, like a blazer to go with it, or like really cute pants and some awesome shoes, you know, something like that. So I love that because it makes me still feel casual and comfortable, but yet it makes me feel super confident and super professional when I'm wanting to go present myself in my business. So I think casual sophistication is what I would call for myself. But yeah, I love those deep jewel tones. So those types of colors, you know, the maroons, the rubies, the golds and deep oranges. I love all that.
And see, everything that you're describing, you know, it's you, but you hit it right on the tail. You feel confident.
Yep.
And so knowing those things are also very important, because it's like, you don't ever want to present yourself where you don't feel confident, because then it's like, are you being effective? Are you being efficient, you know, spreading your message? So that's really good that you know that. And that's, I think, you know, for our listeners, that's also important, knowing when you feel your best.
Yes.
And being okay with being, you know, it may not be a blazer, it may be a t-shirt, but if you feel confident in that, when you go to present, then your message is going to be to the right people. So that's
yeah,
exactly right.
that you said, how you have on like your tank top now, you can throw a jacket over it, or you can just put something on really quick, because that's a part of effortless style. So just being able to switch it up really quick and still being comfortable and still be confident.
Yes. And you're right. What you wear, it affects your mood. It does. It really, really does. And so when you want to feel good, you want to feel comfortable in your own skin, because literally the way you present yourself, the way you speak, the way you engage with other people is going to be effective. And I remember in the beginning of becoming a business owner and going to a lot of these, business meetings and networking and all these things, I always equated business to like really stuffy, suits and just stuff that to me was so uncomfortable. And so I was like, I can't do that. I feel uncomfortable, therefore I won't be communicating my message properly, and I won't feel confident to go talk to people that I don't know. I have to feel comfortable, but yet still be able to be presentable as respectable and as taken seriously as a business owner, so yeah, you have to find your style that feels so good to you. One of the girls that I really look up to, and she's just killing it in business, she did a huge talk in front of thousands of people, and I loved her outfit. It was a fitted tee with a blazer, with some really cute capris and some out of this world high heels. Like, these shoes were showstoppers. And so it's like on the top half, she was sophisticated yet casual, because she had just like a t-shirt on with an important message on it. But she had this cute jacket and then these shoes that were just like, so many comments about the shoes. But it's like those shoes were so outrageous. They brought the whole outfit up, and they gave her the confidence when she's speaking a powerful message to thousands of people. So it's like, it doesn't have to be, it can just be one or two key pieces that make you feel so good. Like, this is my favorite necklace. If you go back and look at a lot of the things that I've done publicly, especially when I'm being interviewed or speaking, I wear this with almost everything because I love it so much. It's like, it's this one piece of jewelry that I love that just, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel confident. So it doesn't have to be anything super big or a million types of pieces. It can be one or two things, and then that does it for you.
Right. Really good.
Good. I love that. Speaking of confidence, how did you find your confidence? I know we talked a little bit about how you started with your brand, but how did you find your confidence just as a woman, maybe through your childhood, overcoming childhood struggles as a teenager and your earlier years, and just give us a little bit how you overcame.
Yes. Yeah. I was thinking about that. And for me, it happened from the transition from junior high to high school. And what had happened there, so all the years prior to that, we moved and transitioned schools when I was in 5th grade. And that was very difficult. I didn't realize until much later how difficult that really was. Just completely uprooting, new city, new school, new people that had already been established for a long time. So it was in this period from 5th grade to 8th grade that I was just struggling to find myself again, to find the new people to connect with, to feel like I belonged. And so that was a very uncomfortable period of time. And I remember that when I went into high school, I joined the color guard. So at our school, we were highly competitive. We were in the top competitions in the United States. Like, everything was the best of the best. So this wasn't just like some run of the mill, this is really hokey. This was like gold medal. We are doing this thing. We're really, really good. And so I joined that, and that allowed I had always grown up being a singer, being a dancer. I loved that. But in that period of time, in those adolescent years, trying to find myself, I didn't have a really good outlet for that. And then when I remember thinking, I've got to be on that team. I've got to join that. For some reason, I just knew that for me, that was going to click and that was going to be amazing. And when I did, when you step into something that you've got an idea you think is going to be good and you follow through and you actually do it, man, so often it is exactly what you were wanting. And it was exactly it was the right fit. And so I did. And doing that, it brought this community that I had been lacking. So all of a sudden now I had a tribe. I had amazing women that I was now growing with, and I was forming tight friendships with, and we were performing. And so the parts of me that loved to dance and to perform and to be athletic, all of that were combined in this. And then we're competing and we're winning medals and we're traveling around. Like, it was such an amazing time. And it was literally in that's when my confidence just finally found itself and just went through the roof. And I began to feel comfortable again in my own skin, because I was surrounded with other people that loved the same things as me. And so we have to find that. We really, really do. And when you don't have that type of a community, you don't have that type of outlet for your own creativity, then you do feel lost. You know, we were given our gifts and our talents for a reason. It's because they light us up inside like nothing else can. And so for me, that was singing and dancing. And so when I was involved in doing things like that, man, it just, there's nothing else like it, because you've been given a gift. So when you use a gift, you get supernatural responses back from it, you know, in a way that nothing else could. And so man, that's when, as a young person, and then I took off from there. It was in high school that I believe it was my sophomore year that I took high school anatomy, and we were dissecting cats, and that might creep people out, but for me, it was like the most amazing thing. And I remember in doing that, we ended up taking a field trip to a school in Los Angeles that was a physical therapy school, and they were dissecting humans, cadavers, you know, and so many people were grossed out. But for me, I was like, this is the most amazing thing. How can I do this? I need to do this. So it was literally through those experiences that I then knew what I wanted to do as a career. God literally set that up for me. So then from sophomore year on, for the next 8 years, I was on that path to get my doctorate, to become a physical therapist. I knew exactly what I wanted to do, and I had like amazing vision for it. So when you find your confidence and when you connect with the things that tap into your spiritual gifts, to your physical natural gifts, to the things that just bring you joy and that you love, amazing things begin to happen, because your confidence shows the true you. And so then when you start pursuing more and more and more of the true you get more fulfillment out of life, you know? And so that's kind of how it began for me. And it's been nonstop ever since.
Wow, that's amazing. And I love what you said in terms of, you know, often we think of confidence as just solo, right? Like it's my self-confidence. But I love how you said when you joined the Color Guard, having that group of women around you who were also growing, who were also competing, who was also, I mean, with competition comes heartache. And having that community around you to uplift you in the times where maybe, you know, you're not feeling your best, and, you know, vice versa. So I think when, you know, finding your confidence and going on your path, and while it is your self-confidence, you do have to find your tribe.
You do.
Yeah.
And really I think, I don't know, I want you to speak into this more, especially like as you started to move into your career. How do you find your tribe? Like how does that come about? You know, I know you joined the Color Guard and that was in high school, but like as we grow as women, we get older, you know, you have things coming in the way, distractions. How do you find your tribe?
Yeah, you're so right. And it is so critical that you do. One of the main things that I end up teaching women, especially that come into some of my deeper programs, where we're really going through deeper transformation in our life, community is one of the most important things that we talk about. We were built and designed for community, and you have to go outside of your comfort zone sometimes in order to put yourself in the place to get community and to find it and to be a part of it. And so that's something that you have to do. And so what I would say there is, begin to find the things that you love and find other people that are doing those things, you know? So it's like, I love to dance. So I found a local dance studio near my house, you know? And so you have to put yourself in the place of people that are going to connect with you in all different ways. We don't just have one community. We have all different kinds of communities that meet different needs for our life, different needs for our mental health, you know? So in my case, being a part of a church is so critical. I have to be around a community of believers that are going to lift me up and that I can pour into and that can pour into me. My spiritual health is so important to me that I have to put myself in a community that's going to help me do that. And then, you know, in the physical side, the dancing and the exercising, you know, I found great studios near my house where I can do those things. So we have to intentionally not allow ourselves to get secluded. And I know that can be challenging, especially in this crazy time that we're in right now. So it's like, I would be thinking about that right now. Like once this is over, if I haven't already had those types of communities, I'm going to make it a point that I'm going to find them and I'm going to plug myself into them. You know, online communities are great, but in-person communities are just as important. So we have to find our little micro tribes of the people that have the same interests and passions that we do and intentionally get ourselves to be a part of it. And that's how your overall life confidence is going to grow. You know, we need to be nurtured in all those different ways.
Yeah,
that's good.
That's really good. Yes. So speaking of finding your tribe, how did the confidence that you found and the confidence that you have now, how has it impacted your relationships in life, maybe with your friends and in your career? How did confidence impact that and change that, maybe change the dynamics?
Yeah, well, you know, along my path, and I think this is true for all of us, you will find how you are different, how you are unique, and how you love to help other people. And so everyone does that in a different way. For me, I'm a natural born encourager. And so it's natural for me to just uplift other people, to encourage them, to inspire them, to speak life over them. It comes very naturally to me. So as I begin to do that, then other people, you know, get the benefit of that. So I think you have to find how for you, does it come naturally that you love to just help other people? For other people, they love giving gifts. They love spending quality time. And so as I began to find those things about myself, then you can pour into those and be more intentional about those. And then it feels good to you in a way that nothing else will, you know? So like I have other friends who love to sew and to quilt. I don't like that at all. I can't even sew a freaking stitch, you know, but they love to do that. And so they begin to do that. And now they join groups of people that love to do that, or they make and sew something and they give it as gifts to someone else. And that's a precious gift to the person that's receiving it. They're serving in their way that is natural to them, and it becomes a blessing to them and a blessing to someone else. And it helps you grow. So you have to learn about yourself, you know. I love taking spiritual gifts tests. It gives me insights into how I was hardwired, it's just how we all are. And we're all meant to be different and unique and have our own individual combination of different gifts and talents and passions. And so when you can find that out about yourself and you seek to find that out about yourself, then you start pouring into that. And then it just like naturally happens when you're choosing to serve other people using your own strengths ultimately.
Absolutely. Yeah. We've heard everything from having integrity, being intentional, studying and learning about yourself, finding your tribe, learning about your personal style, how that brings confidence, so many things that you have poured into us about image, branding, and style. Our final question for you is, what does it mean truly to own your image?
Yeah, truly to own your image to me means growing into a place where you love yourself, where you don't make apologies for yourself, where you don't try to fit into a different mold that someone else says you're supposed to do or you're supposed to be, but you begin to find out who you are, who you were created to be, and you begin to love that person. And then just the most amazing things happen in your life, in your body, in your mind, in your connection with God. And so man, owning your own image is just loving who you were and being unapologetic about that. And it becomes a light to other people. It lets other people say, I want that too. I want to grow in my own confidence, you know, but they're different and unique, and you have to encourage people in their uniqueness. We're not meant to be all exactly the same. Life would be terribly, terribly boring. But a lot of negative things happen when you try to make yourself something that you're not.
Right.
So just getting so comfortable with who you are and allowing your personal expression to reveal itself in all the things that you do and how you show up in the world gives other people permission to do the same too. And then it just like, it's that beautiful ripple effect. Like God created all of us to be different on purpose. So if we would embrace that, beautiful things will come from that.
Yeah. So good, Dr. Melody.
I love it.
You've given us so much information, gems.
Yeah.
You've blessed us all. Let our you have a special gift for our listeners. So tell us a little bit about that.
I do, yes. So this is a special gift specifically for this crazy time that we're living in right now. And so I've created a 5-day immunity boost challenge. So people want to know, how do I stay healthy? How do I get healthy? How do I make sure I have a really good immune system to help my body and help my life? So I've created a 5-day immunity boost challenge, and it will be something that has a video and a worksheet that goes along with it for 5 days. And it literally goes into healthy mind, healthy body, healthy spirit, all end up impacting your vitality and your thriving in your life and boosting your immune system in all different ways. And so you can get that. Do you want me to give the link for that?
Yeah, you can give the link, and then the link will also be on the bottom for everybody to go ahead and click. So yes, please give the link.
Perfect. Yes. So then it's a bit.ly link. So bit.ly/5-day boost. And then you can go ahead and get that. It'll be sent right to your email, and you're just going to love it for 5 days.
Amazing. I need to do that. So thank you so much,
Dr. Melody. It has been, again, like we said, some true gems have been given, and we're so happy to have been able to speak with you today.
And let everybody know where they can stay in contact with you.
Definitely. So my favorite places to stay in contact are on Facebook. So you can go to our Fit+Faith Facebook page, and that's with the plus sign there. And then from there, you'll be able to connect into all the different things that we offer and see our different communities that we have. But also then on Instagram too, you just go to dr.melody. And then from there, you'll literally find me. But the full name is dr.melody_Fit+Faith. And so those are the 2 best ways to get plugged into all the amazing things we have going on in our Fit+Faith family.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Dr. Melody.
Thanks, ladies. It's been a pleasure.
All right. Bye-bye.